Good evening. Welcome to San Francisco News TV. Thank you for joining us. We have a very special edition today of our show. And we have two guests with us. The first guest is Dr. Arthur Q. Tyler, who is the Chancellor of San Francisco City College, who is seated next to me. And also with us is Torrance Bynum, the Dean of Southeast and Evans campuses, both of San Francisco City College. Welcome to the show.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to have you both here. Now, the reason that, first of all, I ask that you get a pencil and paper because there will be some valuable information that you need to make note of, okay? So while you're getting your pencil and paper, want to share with you that we're going to update you on the status of San Francisco City College. We're going to provide you with the facts of what's going on at San Francisco City College. I used to watch Dragnet, and Jack Webb used to say, just the facts and nothing but the facts. Well, that's what we're going to give you today, or just the facts and nothing but the facts.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, where should we start? One of the things I would like to say, most people are aware of and familiar with City College. A lot of you are graduates of City College of San Francisco, and a lot of us went to City College, attended for 2 years, and then went on to San Francisco State and other four-year universities. We want to let you know what's happening with City College, and what I'm going to do, rather than talk any further, I want this show specifically dedicated to the information that these two scholars are going to provide. So with that being said, Chancellor and Dr. Arthur Q. Tyler, what would you like the public to know about our wonderful San Francisco City College? Where is it going in the future?
Well, first and foremost, let me assure all the residents of San Francisco who I hope at some point in time, if you haven't been to the various campuses and centers that we have where we provide educational and training opportunities, that you take the time to do so. Unlike what some people might be saying, we are a vibrant academic and workforce training institution that is fully accredited at this time, and we are going to continue to be so. We're working hard. We've got a team of excellent faculty, staff, and administrators who care about students. And that's, I think, what makes us different than some institutions of higher education, because in fact we are part of the community that we serve. And so I want to tell everyone that we're alive, we're well, and we're going to continue to do that for decades and generations to come, just as we've done for almost 80 years in this college's history.
Wonderful. Now, it's 80 years. Almost, yes. I know we have been hearing a lot about, particularly, let's talk a little bit about Southeast Campus. Dean Torrance Bynum is the dean at the Southeast Campus, and there are a lot of changes occurring at the Southeast Campus, which is my favorite campus. Evans, all of them actually are. So actually I started 50 feeling, so let me just keep it real. But what's going on at the Southeast Campus, Dean Bynum?
Well, Diane, there are a lot of changes that are being made. There are a lot of proposals on the table. First and foremost, we are open, and we will continue to be open.
Wait, may I just interrupt you for one moment? So the campus is open. It will remain open. Now, why did you emphasize that?
Because I think there's been a mixed message that has been sent to the public, and that message is that Southeast is closing. And we want to assure the public that we're open. We are looking at our programs, our courses. We have just produced a new schedule for the spring of 2014. We've added additional classes to that schedule. We're looking at our student services. We are bringing in additional counselors to assist students with educational plans.
Now, Dean Bynum, when you said that the schedule was just produced for
our spring 2014
for the spring,
schedule, yes.
So when should one start enrolling? When does enrollment begin?
Today, they can go online as we speak.
Is that right?
And start enrolling in the classes. We We have a phenomenal system via the our online services,
Yes.
and you can walk in. We take walk-in students. We have, our student services hours are from 8 to 9 p.m. We have at different locations, different hours. We post our hours on the web. So if a student wants to enroll in any other centers, we're there to assist. We will walk you through the process. There's a matriculation process.
Well, now, a matriculation process, maybe some of our listening audience has not graduated from college yet. That's
Yes.
we want to encourage you because knowledge is truly power, and it is also the vehicle or the bootstraps by which we pull ourselves up and we increase the quality of our lives.
Sure.
Absolutely.
What is matriculation?
Matriculation is the process where a student, when he walks into the door, we test them. They go through a series of testing based on their English, the math, and we place them. We assess their tests, we score the test, and we place them. And we recommend that they take certain classes based on their test scores and their level of education, the background that they've had via their high school. A lot of our students at the community college didn't finish high school.
You
and
know,
they're
that's
returning,
right.
So we want to make sure that we place them in the appropriate classes and courses, so they'll be successful.
And let me,
Great.
may
I
I
was
just
just
add one thing. You know, we are open to every person, okay, who's an adult, and select high school students. But we provide the kind of opportunity. Everyone talks about community colleges from an access point, and I don't really like that term. I would rather
Why?
replace that with opportunity, because to just let you in the door doesn't mean we're going to do anything to help you succeed. But if I provide you with an opportunity, that means I've got a commitment to help you succeed. City College is about student success. It's about the success of its community, in this case, all of San Francisco. And we see ourselves as perhaps the economic engine that's here for businesses to find perhaps the greatest and most wonderful employees in this city.
Now, you just hit on one of my passions. The audience knows my passion is education, which turns into meaningful employment.
Exactly.
Or choosing and selecting your career path and achieving that. Now, the economic engine, fabulous phrase, fabulous mission, and it automatically shows a level of commitment. So we have a lot of businesses coming to San Francisco, and also in San Francisco, and there's a large segment of the population that needs an entry point.
Sure. And we provide that. We work with businesses. We work with emerging businesses in the city. And what I would say to any person who's looking to find their next employee is look in our doorstep.
Great.
Because the one thing that we do better than perhaps most is we provide a skill set that leads to a job. But more importantly, the students that are there learning those skill sets, they have the one thing that most employers want, and that is the right attitude. They're there because they want to better themselves.
Yes.
And I know when I was a CEO of an engineering and manufacturing firm, I knew that the one thing that I would hire for was attitude, because I could train the rest.
That's
And so-
right. And let me say, attitude determines one's altitude.
Exactly.
Because attitude is everything. And thank you so much, because that is holding so many people back. Is their attitude or the lack thereof, or the please continue. But I just wanted to emphasize that we are in total agreement of the importance of attitude. And as you mentioned, with the right attitude, one can train. One is trainable.
Exactly.
One is open. If the cup is full, you cannot add anything to it. So it seems that open mind, a good attitude, you can train them. You can help
Sure.
them.
Exactly. And we've got, a wonderful cadre of faculty. Our PhDs don't do research. They actually help students, nurture students, without lowering the standards. We keep the standards very high. The quality of instruction, whether it's helping someone learn how to be a fashion designer or an auto mechanic, or if they're looking to be the next medical doctor or nurse, come to City College, get your start there, because our wonderful faculty are there to help you get through that process and succeed.
And you know that's been true for a very long time, because I have to say my mother, who eventually earned her PhD, started City College. She was an LVN, then she was a 2-year RN, then she was a 4-year RN, then she received a couple of masters, and she worked as an acute care nurse for many years. Completely, we started out in the housing projects, completely changed our way of life. And this she did alone. And with God's help and education.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so,
Well, I'm a product of the community college as well. You know,
right, yeah.
Back in the 60s, I got drafted into the Air Force, but I always kept one thing in mind, and that was something my parents and my grandparents had instilled in me, and you just hit on it, man. That is, with education, you can part the seas.
Yes,
You can figure out how to solve the problems of the next century.
yes,
If you don't do anything else, please take this to heart. The day you stop learning is the day you die. Whether you are physically dead or not is probably not important. But as you said, as long as you are able to continue to allow people to help you and fill up that vessel of knowledge, knowledge is never ending. It changes. We are worldly people. We live in a space where, you know, we are constantly being bombarded by new information.
yes.
You know, when you and I were growing up, we didn't have the internet. We had to go to
Library.
the library.
Books,
Today,
books.
My grandchildren hardly know what a library is.
Right, right.
We really have to stress this idea of lifelong learning, and that's the other portal that the community colleges provide. We provide that opportunity for people, no matter, you know, we've got people who've got master's degrees, we've got people who have had bachelor's degrees in various subjects, who after a couple of years figure out, you know what, I can't get a job with this degree.
Exactly.
They come back to the community college to learn to earn.
You know, I'm glad you said that, learn to earn, because I want to talk a little bit more about the Southeast campus, your
Sure.
Southeast campus.
Yes.
Dean Bynum, as you and I both know, there are a lot of people in Hunters Point, and you know as well, Chancellor, that people are standing around on 3rd Street. They're not taking advantage of opportunities. One of the great things about the community college system is very diverse. Anyone that comes to this country can get an education in the
Yes,
community
that's true.
college
That's
district.
true, yeah.
Doesn't matter the color, size, or shape. And it saddens my heart, because education has been the vehicle by which my life has changed, as well as the rest, so many of us, that we have people standing around. And what are we offering at the Southeast campus that might attract the one that's standing on the corner saying what they're doing down there?
Well, Diane, based on my experience from being at the Southeast Center,
How long have you been there? I'm sorry, Southeast Center.
Yes.
Center.
3 years now.
3 years now.
And I've been with the college since 2006, and my background is law enforcement, so I know the community. They know me, and I have a good relationship. And I believe that some of the reasons that we still see this dynamics of folks standing on corners is because we're not doing the outreach we should be doing.
That's right.
I'm the type of dean that I walk the neighborhoods, I walk on the corner, and I talk to people, and a lot of those people that I talk to don't even know that Southeast exists. I was telling a young man that at the Southeast Center we offer administration of justice, and he is aspiring to be a police officer. He did not know that administration of justice is via law enforcement. So I think with more outreach, with us doing more one-on-one, your show, examples, myself, Dr. Tyler, they look like us, they are us, we are one. I think sometimes we have to really, you know, positions doesn't make people,
Yes.
we make the position, and sometimes we forget. So it's my goal to assure that community that I am there for them. That is our college, it is a community college, and we're going to provide the courses and services to help assist them in their educational aspiration to move to any level they may be trying to get to, per se.
Okay.
But what we have to do, Diane, is we've got to do a better job with outreaching.
Right.
We've got to do that.
And let me say that he is absolutely correct, Diane. The first center that I went to was Southeast, okay?
Yes.
The very first center. And I went there to demonstrate the new commitment that this administration has
We sure appreciated
to
it.
the community, to all the communities. And, you know, people, the first thing I heard was that, well, I understand you're going to close Southeast. I said, I don't think so. But let me find out what the facts are. Let me figure out what solutions we can put in place. And the one thing that I've told my staff is that we're not just going to make arbitrary decisions. We're going to make data-driven decisions. And the data says we weren't doing as good a job as we should have. And I know that Dean Bynum's commitment to that community, I walked with him. Okay, I know he knows.
Yes, we see him out there, and we were so delighted. We finally have a dean that it didn't matter the color. What mattered is who the person was. And he just happened to have been African American, because we have a large Hispanic population,
Sure.
a large Asian population. They're all baby hunters point now, but our blacks and a lot of our Hispanics aren't, or Latinas are not taking advantage. So by walking and that outreach, as you mentioned, and the commitment to more outreach, because it's like we just have to stitch it. That's, to me, what outreach is stitching. It is showing a person the only way in this, and really a lot of people are going to further their education, is if they see exactly what you said, how it will, that there's a commitment to succeed, and that the skill set will lead to a job.
Exactly. And I know, there are many, many people in the Bayview area, Hunter Point area.
Right.
I'm learning this. I've been on the job now 8 days.
What? Ooh, great.
But on day 3,
Yes.
I was at the Southeast campus
That's right.
and the Evans campus.
Wonderful.
There are tremendous things happening there. We sat down with the PUC.
Great.
I think, they're going to renovate that space.
Yes.
So let me just point out that yes, we're going to move some of the classes while they do the renovation. Okay.
Temporarily.
Temporarily. Okay.
And they're going to move to the
Evans campus.
your Evans
Yes,
Center.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But we're going to, as soon as they finish renovating,
Yes.
and they told me that it wasn't going to take more than about 6 months, we will move back.
Great.
In a
Great.
better space with an even more rigorous and vigorous set of programs.
Yes.
And what I've said to Dean Byron is that we must establish programs that allow our students to complete so that they can move into a job.
So they can compete.
Right.
Complete so they can compete.
Yes.
And what I've asked the
Excellent.
PUC, and I'm going to ask our other partners, the mayor and the city have just been wonderful
Yes.
partners throughout the challenges that we've been facing. But what we really need to be able to do is create internships with both businesses as well as our other partners. And I'm
Yes.
committed to doing that, and I know the mayor and the folks in the PUC are as well.
Now, I just want to say hallelujah, because that's how a lot of us integrate into the workforce. It were through internships, and they were called on the job training. And I'm so delighted, and I know that our viewing audience is very delighted, because we have to get our people in the door. Our people, I mean San Franciscans. We have to get them in the door, and there is no other way. And we have a great trio. We have Mayor Ed Lee, we have Harlan Kelly, and we have Malia Cohen. What better advocates?
Exactly.
Now, citywide, we have the other supervisors who are great, because all of the communities where City College centers exist are there because of the need and the demographics, because of the data that shows that there is a great need. So the supervisor of each district, working in conjunction with Harlan Kelly at PUC, great man, very dedicated
Yes,
to
he is.
uplifting. He gets it.
Right.
It's great to have someone in such a high seat that gets it
Yes.
and understands the needs of the people that are still struggling, still trying to figure it out. And it's also great, I must say, in these last 2 minutes, I'll let you in the show, you two in the show, to that you took time, Chancellor, Doctor, to come on the show. Your schedule was very busy. Your aide is here. Um, and Jeffrey did a phenomenal job in getting you scheduled, Dr. Tyler. I said, well, I know if he can have 15 or 20 minutes, and the next thing I know, I get a phone call. So your commitment, and people know that I will certainly shout it from the rooftops and definitely tell the truth. And the fact that both of you are here, and Dean Bynum, we see you all the time, but it's great. We really appreciate you taking time to make sure that the public knows the wonderful direction, the hands-on direction that City College is taking. It's actually always been there, but now you're doubling your efforts and increasing the community outreach. So with that being said, I would like to ask Dean Bynum to say a few words. We have a few moments left. We're going to air this show for a while, so people can. Dean Bynum is at 1800 Oakdale.
I'm at 1800 Oakdale and 1400 Evans.
Okay, great.
So I'm delighted. I'm honored to be the dean of those two phenomenal centers, and we continue to do work, do lots of work. We have plans in the making. We have an educational master plan. And
educational master plan.
yes,
Fantastic.
We are working on an educational master plan. And most of all, we are excited to have our new chancellor.
Great.
Dr.
And with
Tyler.
that being said, excuse me, Dr. Tyler, we'd like you to close the show.
Well, let me say it's a privilege to introduce myself to San Francisco and San Franciscans on your show, Diane. Dean Bynum and the other deans who are his colleagues have been working diligently and hard to ensure that education is absolutely affordable and available for the entire community. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you both very much for being on the show. We want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Until then, take care, get educated.